Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm super excited to bring you another tutorial, and this time we're going to learn about how to use Google's iOS Maps SDK. And looking at the screen, we have our completed application here, and it is a simple, think of it as a flyover view of some of the more tourist attractions of San Francisco. So for those of you that have not visited this beautiful city, and if you guys are flying in from an outside location, we're going to start off by landing at SFO Airport, and it is located here at the center of the screen with this marker on the map. And as I click the next button, it's going to take us to the Embarcadero BART station, which is what we call the underground subway here in San Francisco. And it takes us directly to the Bay and the financial district and downtown of San Francisco. So clicking next, we get to the ferry building, which is just a couple of minutes away from that subway station stop. So you can quickly walk to this location and explore what's there. Hitting next again, we get to the Court Tower, which is another pretty, it's a nice place to walk to if you're close by. And then hitting next again, we fly to the Fisherman's Wharf, which is a great place for family fun. It's really family friendly, close to the water. And there's also a museum and aquarium, I believe, that's quite fantastic as well. And finally, we can fly or drive, take an Uber to the Golden Gate Bridge Vista Point. And here you can see the entire city from high above and the beautiful city skyline if you're visiting at night. Having said that, let's dive into Xcode and create our project that will integrate Google Maps. All right, so I'm going to Alt-Tab into Xcode and hit Command-Shift-N to create this single view application like that. Double click. Let's just call this Maps Demo 1 and hit Next, Next. And all right, I'm just gonna change to the iPhone 6s and run that application. I'm gonna see this changed into the white screen that we always wish to see on a new, freshly created application. Let's go to the main storyboard, and this time I'm going to drag a navigation controller in there. It comes with a table view controller, so let's just delete that. I'm gonna hold on to Control, drag that there. Select that as my root view controller, and then I'm going to drag this arrow here. That will allow me to start off the application with this navigation controller, and it uses this view controller here as my root view. So that's pretty good. That's where we want to be for now. So remove that line because that's not something that we need. And having done that, we will start the integration process. Now go to Chrome and Google search Google Maps iOS SDK and click this Getting Started link right there. Having done that, step 1 says to create your project, and then you can install Cocoapods by running that in your terminal here. So let's just clear this out of the way. So run that, and you can type in your administrator password, and that should install without a problem for the most part. Now, if you do run into an issue, it's probably due to your Ruby installation being old. So update your Ruby before running this. Okay, so 1 gem installed. Great. Now let's go back to step 3 here. And it is telling us to install the actual Google Maps pod through Cocoapods. So don't concern yourself too much with what that means for now. All you have to do is right click on this project here, hit new file, click iOS, other, empty, next, call it pod file. And then here, I'm going to copy and paste this piece of text. And I'm just going to hit Control S to save that. And now you have to go back to the terminal and go to that pod file to run the installation. And the easiest way of doing that is to drag the pod file here And then that will give you the location of your directory. And then going to the very beginning of that line, run cd to change directory, and now run pod install. So that's going to install the necessary dependencies, which is Google Maps, and it's telling you to now close your Xcode project. I'm just going to close it out and stop the task. And then it's telling you to open up this Xcode workspace instead. So that's this file here. And to do that, I'm just going to open maps.1 Xcode workspace like that. And we'll get the new project containing the necessary Google Maps SDK. I'm just going to run, and okay, that looks pretty good. Shrink that down just a little bit. And now let's go back to our review controller here. Let's see, where are you? All right. And now we can start integrating our Google Maps into our view. So before we do all of that, we need to go to step 4 to create an API key. And click that link to go to Developers Console from Google. Hit continue on Create New Project. Wait just a little bit. This normally takes like 20 to 30 seconds, but maybe it's my slow connection that is preventing this step from running faster. In any case, just wait a little bit as it's enabling the API and it's generating an API key for you to attribute to your Google Maps usage. So it says you don't have permission to create an API key. And what I normally find out after clicking that button again, it should work. So let's copy and paste, or let's copy that key right there. And then as you click onto here, you'll notice that all this information is there. And then let's see, going back to Xcode, we can now start the integration process by first importing Google Maps like that. And then here you want to call GMS services, provide API key with that key that we just copy and pasted. And now we can integrate our first map view onto our view controller. So we do that by saying map view equals GMS map view like that. And this requires a frame. So let's see, going back to the getting started here. Okay, so let's use this map view with frame method. And so it's called map view with frame. And for frame, we'll just use CG rect of a 0 rect. And for camera, we need a GMS camera position. So let's create that up here. Camera equals GMS camera position. And then we'll use camera with latitude, longitude, and a zoom. Now let's start by landing at the SFO airport. So to do that, we will use plain old Google Maps to figure out what the longitude and latitude is. Some type SFO airport right here. And by right-clicking here and clicking what's here, you see the longitude, latitude show up right there. I'm going to click in there, copy, and type in the values right here. So it's 37.6212.62. And then here it's -122.378945. And zoom level, let's just use a value of 10. Now that we have that, we can specify that as our camera. And let's see, we need to set this as our view. So let's say view equals map view right now. Having run that, we get our view, and it is a little off, I believe. Let's see. Okay, I typed in the latitude wrong. So it's 6212. 6212. 62. Okay. Pretty good. So it's actually centered right there. So if I hold on the Alt key, it is centered right there. Now let's put a marker on the map by creating one called a GMS marker. And then we will, create it with a position. And let's see what the article tells us to do. And so position is a CL location coordinate. And let's just say let current location equals CL location coordinate 2D make, and this will be this coordinate here. And copy, paste, and copy, paste. And let's just use that as my current location, like so. And then let's just say marker.title equals SFO airport. And marker, to place it onto the map, we say marker map equals map view. All right, not too bad. And you see the marker is plopped right on the airport like that. So you might be saying, why is it zoomed out so far in the initial view? And that is because the zoom level is set at 10. The higher the zoom level, so I just changed it from 10 to 12, the closer you are zoomed into the map. So 12 is a pretty good value there. And now we have a pretty good base foundation to create our application. Nothing too hard as long as you get the installation set up properly. Now let's create our next button up there by simply saying navigation item right bar button item UI bar button item title initializer. Let's say next. This will be plain self, and selector will be next, which is created down here by a function next. And then let's decide where we wanted to fly to next. In the demo application, we took the BART subway that takes us to the Embarcadero station. And I'm going to type in here, Embarcadero BART. In there. So the BART station is right there, smack dab in the middle of downtown San Francisco. So hit what's here. We get the latitude and longitude. And so let's say next location equals CL location. And we need to punch in these two values. I'm just copy and paste so that I don't get it wrong like last time. Paste there. And then we can say map view, but we don't have a reference to the map view here. So let's go ahead and create our map view then. All right. So let's create a variable called map view and say map view is GMS map view. And we have to specify an optional with a question mark so that we can set it here. So I'm gonna get rid of the let. And now we have our map view there. And then map view is referenced down here as well. And so if we set camera equals this, a new camera like this, let's just copy that. And then now we have, let's see. So next location, this is Embarcadero now. We can specify next location dot latitude and next location dot longitude, and let's bump that up to 13. So see what that does when we click on next in the nav bar. Let's click next, and then that brings us right there centered on to Embarcadero. Let's bump that up to 15 and also create a marker for it. So it's a marker, and then this will be next location, and let's see, this will be Embarcadero station. I think that's how you spell it. Running that and hitting the next up here, we get SFO next Embarcadero station. Hitting that marker, we get Embarcadero station like that. It's pretty good. You can also include a snippet here. Let's see, subway. Let's call it that. I'll show you what that does in just a moment. Next, hitting that, you see a little title that says subway. Cool. Now the next question is, how do we implement a strategy to hit the next and then consistently go from one location to the next, to the next, to the next, until we hit our final destination. The easier way of doing this is to create an array of what I'll call destinations. So I'm going to call it destinations. Destinations equals something. So we need some type of array in here, and that is going to be an array of what I'll call vacation destinations. So let's create a new class called vacation destination, like this, subclass that is in its object. And let's create a couple of variables called name, location. This will be a CL location, coordinate 2D. Let's see, let's just get rid of the question marks there. And then let's just also use a zoom like that. And here we'll create an initializer. Location, CL location 2D, float, float. This is a zoom. And having done that, we need to set the class variables like this. Self.zoom equals zoom. And so here, I'm going to say vacation destination is of name. So let's call this SFO airport. Location is, let's see, let's just use this location here because that's our location. So I'm going to change this as our Embarcadero station. And this will be, let's see, we use 15 down here. That means we will just do that. And then destinations. Okay, that looks pretty good. And for here, we can do a little something different, which is to say, okay. All right, let's just capture something else as well. So call it current destination. Vacation destination is that. So I'm going to say if current destination is nil, we'll just grab the first one. So destinations.first. Okay. Current destination equals that now. And then in here, I'm going to say camera will now equal GMS camera with target. Let's just use this here. And then camera with target will be used with location of that. So we can safely unwrap that. And then this will be the zoom. I'll also unwrap that. And now we can remove this here. We can also copy and paste that inside of this block now. Let's say this will be current destination. See that location? Yes. Okay. This will be, let's see, current destination.name. And let's get rid of the snippet for now. Let's run that and see what we get. Next, so we get that. It says Embarcadero Station. All right. So the tricky part is to include a second location in here. And I'm just going to include the ferry building. So let's just create another one. And let's call it ferry building. And the location will be, let's just see. Location is around here. Call it Ferry Building Marketplace. What's here is that. Copy, go back here. And then, so I'm going to take that. CL location make. Latitude is that. And then longitude is that. Let's copy and paste that in there. And let's just use a zoom level of maybe even 16. Okay. Now, so if we hit the next and current destination is already the Embarcadero station, we'll say, okay, else we need to find the next destination. So this is a little bit trickier. So let's first find the index of the current destination. Say that destinations index of, and then we'll use current destination like that. Let's unwrap that, and then we'll do this a little safely like that. And so this if just makes sure that we bind the index to a non-nil value. All right. Now that we have the index, we just want to get the destination by saying current destination is now equal destinations index plus 1. And now we can, I guess, copy and paste this down here. We'll clean that up a little bit later. All right, so let's hit next. That gets us to Embarcadero. Next, that gets us to the ferry building right there. We can even bump that zoom level up to maybe 18, and that will get us a closer view of what is on the map. So next. All right, that's pretty good. So you see how kind of choppy that was, animating, or actually not animating from SFO to Embarcadero to ferry building. We can enable a animation like this. So let's just say map view, animate to camera position, like this, like that. And let's copy and paste all that inside of there. So that's good. And then we will copy and paste that in there as well. Running that, we should see a smoother animation going from location to location like that and like that. But you notice how fast that was to get from one location to another. It's flying a little too fast, in my opinion. And the way to slow it down is to do something like this. So it's called CA layer. Let's see, what is it? Let me see what I have here. Okay, so it's actually CA transaction dot begin, and then we'll say CA transaction set value for key, and this is the amount of time to transition. So it's animation. Let's see what I have here. CA transaction animation duration. All right, so this value is the amount of time it takes to fly. And if I, let's see, commit the transaction like that, it'll change the block that is between these two animation commands. So next, so that takes 2 seconds, and this will be the 1 second animation down below here. So let's just create a private function that helps us set up all this right there. And let's just cut that. It's called set map camera, and paste that in there. And then we'll tighten that up just a little bit. And here, current destination. All right. Cool. So having that available down there, we'll save that. And then now that we have current destination set up properly up here, all we have to do is say set map camera. All right. So next, it takes 2 seconds to fly there. And then next, it takes another 2 seconds to fly there. So that's pretty good. Now that you get the idea as to how to fly from one destination to the next, you can see how you can easily create an application for yourself that tracks where you need to be and then where you need to go as your next spot of interest. So that's pretty easy, right? And this is not too difficult as long as you get the installation process set up properly using the Getting Started guide in Chrome. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's all I wanted to go over today. Hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to like and subscribe and tell me what kind of projects you are working on right now and what kind of help you would like as well. All right, enjoy your day and enjoy coding as well. Bye-bye.